Hey, what's going on? This is Mark's home owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. Hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully wherever you live, it is nowhere near as warm or as hot as it is where I am, which is saying quite a bit because usually where I live compared to where I'm from, it is usually not this damn hot. So the fact that it is as hot as it is living where I do is interesting. I was almost gonna say impressive, but I'm not. I'm not impressed by that. And then living where I live, you know, it might be true anywhere, but living where I live, actually, no, it's not true. I was gonna say one thing, but I was gonna say living, depending on where you live, if depending on what you're doing, it might not matter how hot it is as much, but I think it does because living where I lived for the first 36 and a half years of my life, man, if it got, if it was anything over 74 degrees where I'm from, and there was nothing special about where I'm from, but man, when it got warm there, at least 74 degrees, I'm already hot. So if it got hotter than that, I was really concerned. Really concerned where I'm from. As far as the warm up here, I think I was too hot to try to do this the night before or whatever, but so sorry I didn't have this on either before I started recording or the fact that I didn't do it last night. And then depending on how you feel about this video and many of the videos, if not all the videos I'll be doing from now on, to support this video on Patreon if you're on there. So to do a rack pull, even though this rack looks different than others, and warming up here with 185. 185. And due to some issues that I've had, I don't have as much weight in currently to put on. So I think I'm about to put 100 pounds on to make it 285, which hopefully doesn't feel heavy. And then after that, um, 285 and then 385 after that, hopefully. Depending on how I'm feeling, that's the good thing about doing your warm-ups, even though a lot of people don't want to do it. A lot of people try to avoid warm-ups to the best of their ability. I thought I opened these. I hope you can see me better. So this is 285. 285, hopefully still a warm up. think. And then I think the goal, I don't know if I'm going to do 3 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps, I'm not sure, or at least what I'm going to try to do. I think last time it was 405 or something around there. And again, for those who never heard me say it before, as of days ago, not even a week, I don't even think it's been 4 days yet, I'm on Patreon. Which for those that are interested, gives us the opportunity to either chat with each other, you might be able to send me messages, I think, on Patreon, and that's the first tier. The second tier, and I'll put the link at the bottom, but the second tier, getting discounts on challenges that I'm likely to do, especially to do one for the summer, one for the fall, one around January probably, if not before. And then the third tier, I believe you get a free t-shirt. For those who have asked me how you get a free t-shirt, so this is a new way for you to possibly get one. Get a free t-shirt in the third tier. A free t-shirt, and 1 free month of online personal training for those that are interested in that. So those are the 3 tiers to choose from for those who are on Patreon or might decide to do it. Right, I think last time that I had too wide of a grip, so. So I think I'll do multiple sets of 4. Multiple sets of 4, and then barbell rows. Multiple sets of 4, barbell rows, and for the sake of this video, I think that'll be it, so that the video isn't too long. And my phone doesn't necessarily let me record videos that are, once you get to 59 minutes, the phone will make it to where my battery is almost full or storage is almost full, regardless of how often I try to delete stuff on there that I either don't need or want on there anymore. So to try to not make the video long, which is usually me talking a bit too much, but that's usually because depending on what I'm telling you, just trying to make sure if anybody is doing stuff like this, even though at 385 it's not that heavy, to do it in ways, doing what I believe I'm supposed to do as a personal trainer and someone who cares, to make sure if anybody is doing this, especially young people, anybody who's doing this, they're doing it correctly, so yes, my videos are a little longer than they should be compared to if I was to do this workout without recording. It wouldn't take as long. But I am about to go ahead and do a second set. And then unless something happens, I think I might do a third set. And then for anybody who is curious, I think some people do more than 3 sets anyway, so for those who are curious to ask certain questions about how you know how many sets, I I usually do 2, and there's a possibility I might just do 2, especially going as heavy as I'm going. I mean, it's only 385, but I have other stuff to do today, and depending on how much you put on, which should be obvious to many at a certain point, depending on your age, experience, whatever. So for the new people, just what the heck is going on? Figure out how heavy you're trying to go, and then if you're trying to, if for those of us who want to go really heavy, I don't think there needs to be a lot of sets. And with that said, this might be my second and last set, and then start doing barbell rows. Not sure, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Because if I do a third set, it's just because I'm feeling that good and want to do it. So with this, I might do 3 sets compared to the other stuff. Because with barbell rows, I'm going to be doing different angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do try to do one more set with that. I did that last time, so I keep overthinking the math. But instead of adding more weight, even though it won't be a lot, instead of adding more weight, just do one more set at 385 for this time, and then take it off and do barbell rows at different angles. And then to make sure this video isn't too long, that'll be it. And then I might do a separate video, and I'm not sure if I'm doing lat pull downs today or if I'm doing pull-ups today. Last week was lat pull downs, which I didn't record, but because when I went to the apartment gym, for whatever reason that I went there, I think I remember why I went there, I ended up doing lat pull downs there, but didn't bring, at least I don't think I did. I don't know, I'll have to look. But I think I recorded certain things. I just don't remember how much I actually recorded. Yeah, I think I did, because I think I had my straps. And I remember getting down low to the floor under the seat so that I can get a full range of motion with the strap. And did a pull down there. So yeah, I think I did record that stuff last week. But then I have a neighbor, older neighbor who's like 74, and every time we see each other in the gym over there, probably would talk a lot when we were outside too, but when we see each other at the gym over there, we end up talking for over an hour, if not longer, which I don't regret, but it's never part of the plan. So slows me down from doing as much as I wanted to do. But at the same time, I actually enjoy talking to her. So it's a weird situation. But yeah, I think this is the third and last set, and then I do barbell rows at different angles. For those who haven't seen me do that, I'm gonna try not to go too heavy because I plan on doing more reps this time with the plan that I have for my body. Probably for the foreseeable future, especially I'll be 40 in less than 4 weeks. So, some people might say, what does that matter? The older you get, the more things change, especially going into 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So depending on how long some people are allowed to live, things start to change more and more. So the curiosity of being able to lift a certain amount once you get to certain ages. So going on 40 and seeing if I can still do certain things, which I believe I will. So within the next 4 to 5 weeks, again, unless there's some other unexpected changes or plans, I'm hoping to get rid of this rack, which I wish I never bought, and get the rack that I actually want, especially with the changes that I'm making as far as job, as far as business. Probably as far as schedule too. Let's see where do I want to put these right now. And then let's see, going down. So I think I did well. So hopefully I don't do what I'm thinking about doing. Hopefully I don't do what I'm thinking about doing, because the goal is to do more reps. So hopefully I don't take it upon myself and try to do any heavy rolls when the goal is to do more or heavier rolls. I took the weight off, so that'll make it less likely that I try to go as heavy as I was thinking. And then and then another thing, not for the sake of back exercise, but a challenge that I have for myself, which I always do, but for this year, especially within the next 3 weeks, for me to, where are my tens? For me to, try to see try to see if the week of my birthday or the week after, that depends on how my workouts are set up. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but somewhere around my birthday in July this year, the plan was and is for me to do a dumbbell incline chest press with 150 pounds for the first time. So I forgot how long ago I came up with that idea. Let me see, it's going on July, so I came up with that idea in May or April, possibly March, to see if I can do 150 pound incline dumbbell chest press with 150 pounds for the first time, for however many reps I can do. And it seems like whenever I do a max lift, I probably do at least 2, especially for those of us who count the first one. That's dumb for people who don't, in my opinion. Like, what the hell is the point of moving it if you're not going to count it? Alright, so barbell rolls, and my goal is to go wide grip first, while I have the energy and strength to do it. I think I only have 205 on, so I should be able to do 5 or 6 reps, however many reps that I'm doing. pinch my fingers. 2 sets of 5, and then move my hands inward somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way in or shoulder width. So yeah, for me to be doing this stuff, I don't think I hear a lot of people say it, but I've heard people say it. And due to the fact, excuse me, there are a lot of people who get mad about getting older, and depending on why, maybe, but I'm only going on 40 in the next few weeks, so I don't have as much of a reason to be mad about getting older. I get more excited about it actually, because hopefully once you get to a certain age, hopefully whatever level of immaturity that you had in your 20s and 30s, going into the 40s, hopefully you don't have it. Too many people do. Hopefully I'm not one of them. I don't think so, but a lot of people probably feel that way. So you try to, I'm doing decent on time in my opinion. Let me see, since it's only 2:05, I don't have to take as much time in between sets. I'm gonna try not to put any more weight on. You know what? I think I am gonna add 5 pounds, but hopefully not add anything more than that. Alright, so 215 this time, so now I might have to do 2 reps of that compared to what I was going to do at 205. I think I said that wrong. 210. 210. 210 wide grip. Not my max, just doing more reps. I think my max might be 240. 2, 4, 5. See if I do one more set, which I'm thinking I should be able to. And then move my hands closer in somewhere. So see, I'm only doing 5 more sets, and then that'll be it for this video. But then I'll record another video doing lat pull down or pull-ups, whatever I decide to do today, whatever I feel I can do today. Well, damn, it's not what I feel I can do today. Whatever my body lets me do today. So if I feel like I can do pull-ups, I'll do that. But if I have to do lat pull downs, I'll do that. Alright, so one more set at wide grip since I added weight. Only 5 pounds, so it's only 210. And then, for those who feel the need to give up, depending on how long it's taking you to achieve certain things, I kind of get it, but man, if you try different things every now and then, like with the way my schedule is now, and I wish I did it before. I think I thought about it, but wasn't sure how that was supposed to work. But I love it now. So this week, you see I'm using a bar. Next week, if I'm recording, which I probably will, you won't see me using a bar at all, unless it's a lat pull down. But other than that, you won't see me using a bar for back, chest, shoulders, arms. You won't see me using a bar at all. So that's how I'm doing things now to help me grow in terms of what and how I do stuff, and maybe even grow as far as my body. Just by doing different things and make it to where I don't physically, mentally, or emotionally get bored. And not only to physically, mentally, and emotionally get bored, if I'm constantly using the same equipment, even if I'm changing up the rep ranges and stuff like that, it's just the physical, mental, and emotional boredom. So then you do stuff the way that I'm doing them now. And it's much harder to get bored because, man, I gotta, especially for me having adjustable dumbbells and having to take stuff off, put it on, put a heavy load on, do the set and take it off so I can do the next exercise. So even though that's what I wanted in terms of being able to put whatever amount of weight on, but then when it comes to taking it off, putting a certain amount on, I don't live by myself, so trying to move stuff around, trying not to be in the way, trying to get done, for just in case the person I live with comes home to do whatever they're trying to do without us being in each other's way. So I think this is the second and last set. And then go inside somewhere with my hand grip. Let's get it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully, due to the lack of room, I don't have an angle to where you can see me a certain way. But hopefully, with the way that I do stuff, hopefully you can see how I'm not, when a lot of people do, they're overly focused on doing the weight compared to doing it right. So a lot of people, they'll do their rolls and they start bouncing. I don't understand that at all. I believe that's a waste of exercise to be doing all that, dancing and humping the bar and all this other stuff, compared to just, so even with the angle that I'm using due to the lack of room that I have, hopefully you can kind of see how I'm not doing that. I don't dance regardless of the situation. So I don't dance regardless of the situation. So even though I don't necessarily have as much room for you to see the different angles, so that you can see that I'm not dancing and bouncing, but I think it should be kind of obvious that I'm not doing that. So now to go inside, I think I'm going to go all the way inside. I usually do that last for whatever the reason, but at this point, I think I'm actually going to go all the way inside. Does it matter? I don't know. I think that's just a preference, why it allows me, I can do it anyway, but allows me to, change it or, play around with the hand positions. It does work in terms of how your back looks, but I'm saying in terms of whether it matters, because again, I said I was going to go. So yeah, I think it does matter to at least a certain degree, because once you go out wide and depending on the weight that you're using, that feels so much different compared to coming anywhere in here and trying to do it. Even though I didn't take any weight off, I didn't put any weight on, I could. But since the goal is to not do less reps and to make sure I can actually do it. All right, let's get it on. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, one more set there, and then move my hands a little further outside. Just not wide grip, because I did that already. So I am doing certain things now that I wish I had done before. I just wasn't sure how to fit it in. Being young is challenging in terms of trying to figure out, and it's understandable, but trying to figure out whether or not you're doing too much, doing too little, which exercises to do, how many exercises to do to complete a workout. Is it worth it? Is it popular? Seems like as a young person, there's a lot to figure out. I know it was for me, especially not knowing. So again, you know, depending on what some of you are doing as far as young people, I get it. But for once some of us, if not many of us, get older, and we realize what a waste of time certain thing is in terms of doing more of certain things when it's unnecessary. So again, that's the one good thing, if not multiple reasons to be thankful and excited enough about getting older. The fact that whatever you were doing before that made no sense. It did at the time, but it probably did at the time, depending on what it was and why. But once you get to a certain age, it's like, man, I'm pissed that I did this, or why did I do this, and whose idea was it? And I actually like a lot of the stuff that I did growing up. Saying that I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but the fact that I tried stuff, trying to figure out how to get stronger, how to get faster, you know, I think all of it worked, actually. All of it worked in terms of being stronger, faster. It didn't work as much as I wanted to, but it did work. Change in terms of hand position. 2 sets of that. So I did outside, wide. I did inside, all the way inside pretty much. And now go shoulder width. Hitting every angle that you can possibly hit. Well, you know, every necessary angle to hit. Compared to when I was younger, I probably would have did multiple sets to where I would have started in here and then here and then here and just probably did like 10 or more sets, just moving my hand around a little bit wider, a little bit wider, a little bit wider, or if I started outside and then went a little bit inside, a little bit inside, you know, and that's just you know, depending on how weird some of us are, and just wondering, you know, if this works, how it works, how often you do it, how many sets, you know. So again, you know, I introduce myself in all my videos, and you know, I'm the owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness, and there are many ways for me to help you for those that are interested. And one of the ways for me to do that now, as of last week, Thursday or Friday or whenever it was, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday of last week, I think Wednesday or Thursday, I thought about it for hours, got really excited about it, and then Friday, due to certain issues that I'm having to where I had to wait till Friday to do it, to where now, for those that are interested in stuff like that and actually use it, Patreon, and putting my content on there to where I can do things different and hopefully better, and not have to rush to do it. And for those that are interested in stuff like that and being able to communicate with me and get a discount on programs depending on which tier you choose. And for those who have seen the back of my shirt and asked how do you get a free t-shirt, which is interesting that certain people ask that question, because it's like they're not interested in who I am and what I do, but yet have the nerve to ask for a free t-shirt. So that's interesting. But as far as what I do as the owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness and offering online personal training and getting a free t-shirt depending on what happens between us. Alright, so this is the angle that I choose compared to the other two angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so why not do 6? Because instead of me having the temptation of putting more weight on, just do at least one more rep. So to challenge your muscles differently in some way. So instead of always trying to add more weight, which is understandable for those who want to do it, your body can only handle but so much when you're constantly lifting certain loads. Your body can only handle but so much when it comes to lifting heavy. So when you lift heavy, depending on how, so if you max lift every chance that you get, it don't bother you as much when you're younger. So depending on, you start to feel certain things, and because you're so young, you don't understand why, in terms of being tired or whatever. And again, it don't bother you as much when you're younger. It's just a confusion once you start to feel certain things, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Just lifting a bit too heavy, or you're running a bit too much, or you're doing stuff a bit too often. I know I did stuff a bit too often, thinking that if you do, and a lot of people do, especially younger people, thinking that if you do more, you should get better. Depending on how much more, yeah, but thinking if I did more sprints and a certain number of sets, and people thinking that if you work out for a certain period of time, that's impressive. If you have the schedule that fits that, go for it, I guess. But if you can get especially once you get older and you have to start doing stuff, paying bills and stuff like that, it becomes obvious that staying at the gym, or even if you're working out at home, at the gym, wherever it is that you're working out, and doing that for a certain period of time, and it's like, well, don't you still have to go to school? I know at this point of the year, school is out, depending on when certain people see this, but between going to school, going to work, for those who have kids, who have a girlfriend, who have a wife, who have a boyfriend, who have a husband, certain job, certain business, there's only but so much time you have to do the stuff. And the goal is for me to do the workout, not to spend a bunch of time doing it. So it's about the workout compared to the time. So again, for those who are on Patreon or tempted to look at it to see what it's about, to support this video and other videos that I have on there, which is, I think, will be good for the both of us, depending on the questions that you have, the interest that you have towards online personal training, getting certain things from me, and the amount of fun that we can have by me being on there and you supporting on there. Oh man, especially with the equipment that I'm hoping to get, especially if my brother moves out as soon as possible, if I can afford it for him to move out, and to have equipment over here and using certain things, certain equipment. Again, constantly trying to figure out. That's the interesting thing about us trying to master stuff. Using certain equipment, different reps, different sets. So, again, not dancing or bouncing. 4, come on, 5, come on, 6. So again, if you're on Patreon or consider it, to go on Patreon and support me on there, so that I can do more, do better with the lighting and hopefully living here by myself without my brother, which will be much better for me, possibly better for him too, if he's living somewhere else. Like I said, to support the videos on there, and like I said, instead of me recording here, I think if I can record it over there where I want to, but there's other stuff over there because I don't live by myself, have stuff over here, and I think things will look different and hopefully better. Living by myself and using different equipment and having more fun, and the benefits of us doing that in terms of being able to communicate, getting discounts, getting gifts, man, and just doing my part at almost 40 years old to share my passion, share my fun, and help in certain ways for those that are actually interested in it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video at least a little bit. Give it a like, and if you don't mind, because not only does it help me, should help certain people that are interested in it. Because I mean, when I was growing up in the 1990s, and if I could have seen videos, commercials, videos, whatever I can possibly see, to see what the possibility is of in terms of being kind of strong, very strong, using certain equipment, that would have been somewhat of a problem because I would have been asking for all this different equipment that I probably didn't need. But that's if I didn't get a gym membership at a certain period of time and just go there. So, you know, just if I could have seen stuff like this, so if you share it with people, especially young people, but even if they're not young and interested in stuff like this, to share it. And then, again, if you're interested at least a little bit, like it at least a little bit, especially seeing that I'm hoping to get better and better at everything that I do, as far as fitness, and I'm the owner and trainer of my business, so, any chance I get to get better, which everyone should do, any chance and opportunity to get better. So like I said, if you share it with people who might be at least a little bit interested, and then for you and others, if you like the video at least a little bit, or if there are other videos that I have that you look at and see and enjoy, to subscribe. So then whenever I post, instead of looking around hoping that I posted stuff like many of us used to when this first started 20 years ago, when I was in college. Subscribe, so now you get a notification, hey, Fuller Fitness posted a new video, and then you don't have to look around again. For those who have a certain amount of interest toward what and how I do stuff. So yeah, that's it for this video. This is Mark's owner and trainer Fuller Fitness. Take care.